It's hard to imagine that a paradise like this is just 450 kilometers off the west coast of Africa. You're going to be in for a surprise as we discover the fascinating world of Cape Verde. Governments provide social services for their citizens by exploiting the various sources of revenue, such as mineral deposits, agriculture, manufacturing, and commerce, among others. For instance, the United States of America relies greatly on her industries, while Venezuela depends on petroleum for our economic survival. Similarly, tourism has become a major source of revenue for many countries with natural endowments and rich cultural heritage. It has become the mainstay of the economies of Seychelles, Kenya, Egypt, and Gambia, among others. Tourism has also impacted significantly on Cape Verde. The tourism industry in Cape Verde attracts a wide spectrum of economic activities and creates opportunities for investment in associated service industries such as hotels, airlines, and entertainment. In the last decade, tourism has resulted in increased capital inflow and gross domestic product in Cape Verde, thus enhancing the socio-economic development of the country. The number of tourists to Africa increased significantly between 1990 and 2010. However, in spite of this geometric increase, Africa only accounts for a minute percentage of world's total tourism. The seemingly insignificant contribution of African countries to global tourism has therefore brought to the fore the need for African countries to further develop and harness their abundant tourism potentials for sustainable socio-economic development in the continent. In view of this, members of Syndicate 1 of Armed Forces Command and Staff College visited Cape Verde to have an on-the-spot assessment of the contributions of tourism to socio-economic development in the country, with a view to drawing lessons for other African countries, particularly Nigeria. The visit afforded the syndicate the opportunity to appraise the effects of the geostrategic and political settings of Cape Verde on tourism in the country and the efforts of the government of Cape Verde at enhancing tourism and socio-economic development. Republic of Cape Verde is situated in the Atlantic Ocean. It is an archipelago of 9 inhabited islands, namely Santo Antão, São Vicente, São Nicolau, Sal, Boa Vista, Maiau, Santiago, Fogo, and Brava. The largest island is Santiago, which hosts the nation's capital, Praia. The Cape Verdean Islands were discovered in the mid-15th century by Portuguese explorers. The islands are usually cool and breezy, with a weather similar to the cool temperature of countries in the temperate region. The relatively low rainfall also makes Cape Verde ideal for all-year tourism. The amazing mountain scenery, crystal clear blue sea, and beautiful beaches which characterize the islands have continued to attract visitors from all over the world. Cape Verde's population is mainly a mix of Africans and Portuguese that has resulted in a vibrant Creole culture. The official language of the country is Portuguese. The major local language is the Creole, which is spoken by over 65% of the population. English language is also spoken by a few Cape Verdeans. Despite their continuous exposure to alien culture and civilization, Cape Verdeans have strived to retain their culture and tradition. The uniqueness of these culture and tradition, as typified in their dances, festivals, and native cuisine, have been sources of attraction to tourists from all over the world. All the islands in Cape Verde are sites for tourism, because of their peculiar features. However, the major islands which the government have specifically earmarked for tourist development are Sal, Boa Vista and São Vicente. Sal is the main tourist island in Cape Verde. Attractions in Sal include the Ponta Preta Beach and Calheta Funda, a turtle spawning bay and perfect spot for picnics. São Vicente is a beautiful site with streets lined with colonial British and Portuguese houses and grandiose gardens. The island's greatest heritage is the city of Mindelo, the cultural capital of the Cape Verde. The two most popular festivals of Cape Verde, the Mindelo Carnival and the Baía das Gatas Music Festival, take place in São Vicente. The Mindelo Carnival is a Creole adaptation of the carnival from Brazil and takes place annually in February. Its features include street parades, sounds of drums, and display of different costumes depicting the rich cultural diversity of the island. The Baía das Gatas Music Festival takes place in August. Because of the lead role the tourism industry plays in the socio-economic development of Cape Verde, the government drew up a National Strategic Action Plan for Tourism for the period 2004 through 2015. The implementation of this plan is resulting in better management of the tourism industry in Cape Verde. Furthermore, the government, in conjunction with some private company, is developing onshore wind farms in the three islands earmarked for tourism development. In addition, the government has recently completed the construction of international airports at Boa Vista, Santiago, São Vicente and Sal. The government is also taking measures to maintain peace and security in the country. It is therefore not surprising that between 2004 and 2010, Cape Verde's real GDP increased on average by over 7% annually, well above the average for sub-Saharan countries. This has made Cape Verde a hidden treasure and a metamorphosing jewel of Africa, from which other African countries could take a lead of tourism. The team, led by Navy Captain K.A. Lowell, departed for Cape Verde on 23rd April 2012. The team consists of one chief instructor, 4 members, and 16 students of senior course 34. The team had a one-night stopover in Dakar, Senegal, before proceeding to Praia. On arrival at Praia International Airport, the team was received by the liaison officer, Major Miranda, who led them to Hotel Miranda, where the team lodged. On 25th April 2012, the team leader, team coordinator, and other members of the directing staff paid a courtesy call on the Chief of Staff of Cape Verde Armed Forces. The Chief of Staff expressed delight in receiving the delegation and wished them a memorable stay in Cape Verde.
I hope you enjoyed your visit in my country. I'm here to talk with you about the reform of the army in Cape Verde. So, but I know, because my English is not so good, I'm going now to talk on Portuguese. I have Mr. with me for translator.
Thereafter, other members of the syndicate joined the team officials to the headquarters of 3 Military Regional Command. At the command headquarters, the team received an extensive brief on the organization, roles and duties of the Cape Verde Armed Forces.
This is a topic of very actual topic which is being discussed all over the world. So, as I said, I'm very pleased to be here to share with you our humble experience in this field.
The brief offered students an opportunity to ask questions on the contribution of the armed forces to socio-economic development of Cape Verde.
Sir, Cape Verde enjoys a very special relationship with the United States. How does this special relationship impact on the socio-economic development of Cape Verde itself?
There is a very good relationship between Cape Verde and the United States of America, and I think the relationship that we have between our countries depend on a lot of things.
I would like to know how the increase in piracy in the Gulf of Guinea have affected the tourism sector in Cape Verde.
The chief of staff of defense of all countries, they got together and they delineate and they determine group to work in order to develop a strategy for the Gulf of Guinea.
Nigeria and Cape Verde are two African maritime nations, and in the course of your lecture, most of the bilateral agreement that you mentioned is with other countries other than Africa. So I want to know, sir, why is it so? Why is it not with African nations?
The bilateral agreement appeared because Cape Verde has been identified as a transit point, as it was asked by your previous colleague. And as we did not have a set, and we are still not having enough assets to face those threats.
At the command headquarters, the team was also briefed by the commander of the